Let it sink in right now. They got to watch this thing because we have to keep the dog back here. Nail it. It's what I call my daily bread. I always try to read some scripture to send me on my way.
Pick any special verse today?
Well, it's set up on a daily, you know, each day of the week, of the month, or rather. And today's topic would be the honor of your friendship. Kind of ironic, huh?
Yeah. Good one for today.
I have called you friends. That's in John 15:15. And I can go ahead and read it out loud if you don't mind. During the marriage ceremony of a British couple, the best man remained motionless. Even after vows were exchanged, he didn't move. The still figure was a race car driver who was trying to be in two places at one time. Because of contractual commitments, Andy, I can't pronounce his name, rather, Priolux, three-time world touring car champion, had to break his promise to participate in his friend's wedding. So he sent a life-size cardboard cutout of himself, as well as a pre-recorded speech. The bride said she was moved by his effort to honor their marriage. His gesture was certainly creative, and we shouldn't second-guess his actions. But Jesus gave us another standard by which we gauge friendship. Jesus asked his disciples to show their friendship to him by loving one another as he had loved them. Then he raised the bar. In anticipation of his death on the cross, he said, "Greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friend." John 15 chapter 13th verse. This depth of friendship isn't merely about doing the right thing, it's about sacrifice, and it springs out of a relationship with one who truly did lay down his life for his friend. For us. Are we showing others that we have been loved by Jesus as he loved us by his Father? And it says, love is more than a sentiment. It's putting another's needs ahead of your own. I think that's kind of ironic. It's April the 9th, Thursday. It just happens to be on the day that be looking at some of the friends that I've had over the last 20 years or so. Wow. Some you may see again, some you may never see again. So I didn't pick it, but that's how God works, you know. I'll be right back. I need to go. Let's see. Here I go, man. Man, as soon as I opened the garage, it was there. Love you.
Love you too.
Have a good day.
You too.
I'm gonna try. Alrighty. Gotta have my vitamin C. Alrighty, you guys ready? I'm ready. Yep. I didn't think you was gonna see it. It's higher than you think.
We've got one of those at home.
Do you?
Yeah.
Max. He wanna come. We'll turn these lights off out here. There we go. Don't know quite what to expect. I know a lot of, from yesterday, a lot of people are ready to just get it over with, you know. We'll go in here and see. Okay. Oh, you don't need a dome light, huh?
We'll go ahead and keep it on, sure.
Okay.
More like the better.
Alrighty.
You got stuff in your paper anymore?
Well, you were saying more on a personal note today, kind of, and I thought about doing something, a little different out of my routine as far as that goes.
Sure.
I was just planning to just take a different route in, and also just not even get the paper because I want to kind of get myself ready for not having this routine, if you want to call it that, for what I've been doing the last 25 years. And I don't know. It's just me. It's just something I thought about last night, I guess. I don't know. I just said, man, you're going to have to get used to doing things a little different now, that first week or two or three, I don't know. I plan to probably try to get myself together and on what I want to do with my life now, or the rest of my life, because of no more BorgWarner. I don't know. I really do. It's been a real stressful time. I don't wish it on anybody to be president at a time of a plant closing. Oh my goodness. The emotions were very high, and you didn't think it was too bad, but the closer we got to the deadline, the worse it got. So I'm like, wow. You try to say, get yourself prepared for it. I mean, I've had past presidents, and I've talked to a good friend of mine. He's president of the Chevrolet plant when they closed it. And he was kind of giving me a few tips on things, but he always said it's going to get worse. No matter what I came to him about, I'm thinking this can't get no worse than this, but as soon as I say it, he'll say it's going to get worse. And sure enough, it did. Every time I'm thinking everything's going to calm down and be done with it, it was always something else. But they were just ready to get it over with. There are people been coming in. We'll probably have another bunch coming in today, probably around 9 o'clock, returning the forms that the company give us to sign to say that we accept the terms of the agreement so we can start receiving our compensation for the plant closing. And just seeing them come in a bunch. Some of those people I hadn't seen forever because, most of them been laid off over a year or so, and it's been a while since you've seen them unless they come to the union meeting. We've got a scheduled union meeting this Saturday. Matter of fact, my executive board decided that being Easter weekend, it's the last union meeting, really there's nothing to business to discuss, that they took it upon themselves to call off the meeting, to cancel the meeting, and just let us go on out on a smoother transition, so to speak. The meetings have been getting kind of rough. I mean, emotions, like I said, have been very high. We just don't want anything else, we don't want anything to go bad. I mean, this is it, we right down to it, and to their point, I just, chaired the meeting, but to their point, they just felt like with so many of us got plans for this weekend, being Easter weekend, that the officers wouldn't be there to run the meeting, so it just didn't make any sense to have it. And it's not like this is the first time we've done it. 4th of July weekends or holidays, if it falls on union, meeting week, we always cancel them and have it the next following month. But I guess some people might be upset to the fact that, okay, you're canceling this, so when's the next meeting? Knowing we ain't gonna have another meeting because we're no longer gonna be a local. So, well, no, they got sentimental reasons, some of them, but I don't think there's real sentimental reasons. Some of it's just, they're still angry people. And it's really hard. I mean, in the last 4 months of our union meetings, we've had to have security out there. I mean, it's just that bad. So I don't really know what to expect today on that note. Really don't.
We talked to talked to some friends lately and people who don't work at Borg and what their thoughts or feelings are, anything,
Well,
or your own family.
my family, speaking of my family, and even some of my friends I've talked with, this is something that Muncie has just seemed to be, been going through, especially with the Chevrolet plant closing a couple of years ago. And it's, we're getting kind of numb to it. Basically, outside, those are outside of the workplace. But with my family, they've always supported me and been there for me. And this is not my first time, and maybe that has a lot to do with it. But I know my faith in God has the ultimate to do with it. But when I worked at Chevy back in '78, I got on there 2 years out of high school and worked 3.5 years here, and they had a big, massive layoff because some jobs were going out of the country. And with me being so far down the totem pole, I never got a chance to get back in there. So anyway, I went through 1.5 years of just not having a job and really struggling, and then I finally got hired on at BorgWarner in '83. But going through that, I mean, it's been 25 years or so, but God opened the door for me then, and I know He'll open another door for me. So with my family support, they just believe, and we believe that something, the door will open and we'll be able to move on. It's just one chapter that I'm finishing now in my life, and we're going to open up and start on a new chapter. So yeah, it's different, but we'll get through it. I got like I said, I got a lot of family support. The thing about it, I'm gonna take advantage of the opportunities that we have with the TAA and the TRA of going to school and stuff like that. So it's not gonna be easy because of the state of the economy right now. Nobody's really able to hardly find a job. I mean, it's just that bad. But I have really seen Muncie change over the years with all the jobs. I remember, and I'm not really that old, being 51, but I remember being able to just be at a job and maybe you didn't like it or whatever your reasons were, and I could go ahead and walk out the door and walk across the street or down the block and, hey, get another job. But Muncie's not like that now, so it's going to be different and it's going to be tough, but we going to have faith and we'll get through it. Yep, been here all my life, seen a lot, come and go.
What have you heard as people talking at work? Is maybe their biggest concern? Is it the insurance benefits that they're losing?
Well, yes, and mostly that is because the fact of the older people that done put 30 years or more in there and they decided to stay, and those that have already retired prior that are out there now that the company's going to sue them and try to take away their health care. That's really been the real big concern. It's been my main concern also, because you have people in their 70s or 80s have no clue of what they're going to do. They can't go to work, but yet this company is so cold to want to go after their health care insurance. The ones that are people like me, yes, we're struggling on how to figure out how to get some insurance. Some of us are fortunate enough and blessed enough that we have spouses that have insurance, and we're going to have to get on them, especially in my case. But other people that I've talked to out there are really struggling, and there is some programs, that through the HTCT is the HCTC, that's it, and it's a government program, and with President Obama giving us a little extra help on that. It was set up to, as long as we were under the TAA, TRA, give us the COBRA insurance at 35%, and the government would take up to 65%. Now that President has moved that, it will go up to 80% and we pay 20%. So, and that's just a little help for them. And then, with us going to school and trying to get hired in jobs where we can try to get insurance through the jobs. So, yeah, that's been a big concern for a lot of them. That insurance, it's a big issue, and it's a big issue in this country. I think now, if never at any time, we definitely need national health care. But we just don't know if it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen. I think it has to happen because people out there looking at one way of, do I eat or do I take my medication? And it's just pretty sad. It's really sad. I just don't know. Don't know.
How do you think you're going to feel driving by this plant after today? You come down this way.
I kind of thought about it a little bit, but I think in the early stages of it, it wouldn't be no different than, okay, well, it's a vacation shutdown, that kind of thing. It looked like something similar to that. But if they're going to do what they're going to do, as they say they're going to do, is to go ahead and level it like they did the Chevrolet plant, then I think there's going to be some emotions in there. Even when I drive by the Chevrolet plant, I only had 3.5 years in there, but to actually look at that plant, to see it there no more, and it's just a big open flat piece of land, is really sobering. I mean, it's I don't know, when you put almost half of your life at a place, you can't help but have some emotional ties. It's a whole lot different than I worked here, I'm ready to retire or move on. You could ride by and say, yeah, I worked there, I put in a lot of good years there, we had some good times. But when you go by after you've been thrown out or put out or closed out or whatever you want to put it, and you're saying, man, if I'd have just went somewhere else, or maybe you do, maybe it don't bother you. To me, I know in my life there was a time that I did have a choice of going somewhere else, and I chose to come here. And now that I'm like, wow, why didn't I just go to this other place? I'd have had my 30 years in, I've been able to retire, but it wasn't in God's plan. And I don't beat myself up about it. But at the same time, when you ride by there, thoughts like that come into my mind. You just can't help it. Can't help it. But I won't beat myself up on it. It wasn't in God's plan for me to go to Sioux City, Iowa, which is where Chevy wanted to send me at the time that I was laid off. Being 23 and just bought your house, you only made 3 payments on it, married with 2 young kids. And that was before GM had all the transfer packages that they have today. You had to get out there the best way you can. The job would be there waiting on you, but you had to get there the best way you can and stay wherever you could. And being laid off as long as I was, and no unemployment coming in, and when our sub pay ran out, I mean, it was like, I'll stay here and see if you guys will place me somewhere closer. Well, that never happened. I ran out of recall rights, and like I said, now I'm here at BorgWarner. But, coming by here now, going through what I'm going through, in 78, and here it is 09, I've got 31 years if I stayed with Chevy, but, like I said, it wasn't in God's plan, so it is what it is. I try not to beat myself up about it, but that's one of those things that you think about when you come by and see the plant closed as it is, so I don't know. I'm really ready to move on. I don't want to keep continuing to beat myself up about, man, it's closing, what am I going to do? I mean, there's been a lot of things that we've been through as far as our peer-to-peer counseling group in the plant, to where we've been working with people, trying to get them to take advantage. I mean, we had a lot to do with that
billboard up there about be proactive, take advantage of this opportunity to get a better education so you can get back out there in the job field. So it kind of helped me go through the transitional period of knowing that this place is closing and I'm gonna have to get out here and get busy by just having the meetings and discussing with our peer groups and my chaplain's committee. They've been very diligent on meeting every week. Everybody comes and we sit down and we talk. We might have different issues out there on the floor with people that wanting prayer and I mean, you know, I've had a lot of support in that, so you know, it's not like I can't get prepared for it. I mean, interviews like this is what really makes me sit down and actually think it deep as I can take it, but I just don't want to get down on that. I maybe it's because I've been through it, and I know it has a lot to do with my faith, because I know God opened up another door. But I've been through it before. He brought me through it, and I believe and I have faith that He'll bring me through it again. So you know, you know, some people in here they look at you like, you know, you act like it ain't gonna bother you, or you know. And it does bother me. It's just not bothering me in the way it bothers them. You know, when people have no hope, no faith, you know, no plan, then yes, I can see how destitute they are or desperate they are in their feelings and stuff. So, you know, and I always try to talk to them on that. Even with some of the retirees that are out there, I'm trying to help them get some insurance, especially the ones that have pre-existing illnesses. And I know this is something that's going to continue on once I leave the plant also. There's things that we're going to continue to try to do out there at our union hall. We're trying to get a grant right now to where we can operate that and allow the people to come out there because they feel better coming out there doing their adult basic education classes versus running downtown where it's going to be packed downtown at the work one for us. So there's things that are going to keep me, you know, involved and still talking with some of the people and stuff. The main thing to me is to really try to get people to understand you need to close the chapter, start a new chapter, you know, and that's the attitude I'm going to take. That's it. Yep. Well, I guess I go in here and get searched again. I mean, because security has been real high right now. I mean, over the last month, searches going in, searches coming out, you know, and that's just a precautionary that they have to do. I mean, like I said, emotions are crazy right now. And even in the country, I mean, you know, you pick up the newspaper now and somebody's just killing somebody for whatever reason. I mean, it's just sad, but they have to do what they have to do. And they informed us in plenty of time that they were going to be doing this, and it's just part of it, you know. So we just go through it every morning or every shift change and coming in and coming out of the plant. And I don't blame them, you know. You just don't know what some people have. You just don't know. When people are down and out and their livelihood has just been taken away from them, you know, you just don't know. You really don't. I happen to be one of the blessed ones because, you know, of my faith, and I know there's nothing gonna come of it. I mean, to just want to be angry and combative and, you know, it's just nothing positive is going to come out of that. So I try to keep a positive attitude and not pray and have faith in my God. That's how I deal with it. That's it. So I guess I get on in here and see how the moods are. I want to catch some of the midnight people. Everybody out? Yeah. Oh, you know I had to run out here the other day and do that. They said, man, your car ain't gonna start. I said, you right. All righty. Yeah, I just thought I'd do something a little different today, just to be different, you know. I hope it was okay. I mean, you know, all right. You want me to do it like I did before, just go in and then turn around and come back? Okay.
And if you could just call me like an hour before you think you're gonna leave
Right.
today, because there's no set time on when you're leaving.
Right.
And we still got another person we're gonna do a ride along with.
Oh, are you?
So yeah, I'm just trying to coordinate between two of you. So